Hello, my dear audience, dear folks. Welcome to the East West Show, sponsored by BP Aristo. They are best known for their men's shoes of the tradition and the quality. And I happen to wear one of them, Paul Bottani. And then there another brand, Aristo for golf series. You play golf?
I do play. I'm
You
not
do
very
play
good,
golf,
but I'm
right?
pretty good
Good.
with putting.
Good. I'm good at picking up balls. Okay, good. Okay, now, today we're talking about our politics, talking about the coming presidential election. Now we're down to a point. It is a total picture between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. Right? As media, we played not only by rule, but also we played by fairness. Right? Speaking of fairness, we're going to offer everybody the equal chance or equal amount of time to say their opinions about what they like, what they do not like. Right? Today with me, we're talking about the big subject of Donald Trump presidency, quote unquote. In other words, if he wins, what kind of America we shall be living in. So, with me today is my good friend Noelle Henschel. She is who are you, a spokeswoman for him?
Well,
I
am a surrogate.
Okay, very good. Why do I leave the introduction to yourself, please?
Well, ni hao.
Oh, yeah,
to
ni
you
hao,
and
yeah.
to your viewers. And
you.
your jacket looks very nice.
Thank you very much. That's Paul Bottani.
It's very patriotic, actually.
Thank you very much.
I see
You're
the
very
red
patriotic.
and the white and blue.
Yeah,
very
sure.
patriotic.
All right, good. Yeah.
But I am a surrogate speaker on behalf of Mr. Trump. And I serve as the national chair for women leaders for Trump. But my job is as the CEO of ATI, which is a major tour operator.
Which is this one, yes.
Yes, yes, that's my, and I'm a mother of 7 children and grandmother of 3 now.
All right, good for
and
you.
my oldest son just married a lovely Chinese girl so we're very excited.
All right, and by the way, you have a part of Chinese yourself.
I
You
do.
mentioned
My
that to
mother,
myself, right?
through my mother. That's
Very
true,
good,
and I'm very
good.
proud of that.
Very good. And to make a point that what we have is a diversity society. We really have a big diversity. And speaking of diversity, we're not talking about by blood, we're talking about concepts, right? We're talking about a diversity of different ideas. So right now, at this very moment, we're talking about in between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, who do you pick for the chief commander for United States, a president of the United States? Now, we're talking about Donald Trump, Mr. Donald Trump, specifically today. So, and I understand that you personally know Mr. Donald Trump for some time, right?
Yes.
And how long have you
Since
been knowing him?
1990.
Since 1990.
And I pick Donald Trump to be our next president.
All right.
And
That I have no doubt, yeah.
I do because he is a businessman who cares about the future of our country and of our families and of the relationship with the world.
I see.
And I have known him since 1990. We first met at that time at the kind introduction of a mutual friend, which was Jean Ariyoshi, who was the first lady of Hawaii. And I lived also at that time partly in Hawaii and partly in California.
I see.
And we were working together, Jean and I, with the United Nations Development Fund for Women on projects that helped women in developing countries, including in China. We funded projects for helping them to become successful entrepreneurs, or in that particular one, it was a cooperative group of women there.
Okay. And for that, I have.
And he was very supportive.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Very good. For that, I have some questions lined up for you. And if you don't mind, I may go one by one.
Of course.
Okay. So, over these years, from 1990 to right now, you're talking about 26 years, right?
Long time.
Over these years, what have you seen as quality in him that you decide to join him in the his campaign, please?
I think the number one quality is honesty.
Honesty. Okay.
He's very trustworthy person. It's actually very evident by his family when you look at his family, and he's very much a family person, and his children are very they're just really hardworking.
Yeah,
and hardworking to me is important. He's hardworking. He's a
there's a bunch
businessman
of
and he's
good
hardworking.
children, that's
and,
for sure. Yeah, we know that. Yes.
And he's built a very successful business, and he's has created many jobs throughout the world and throughout the United States, and so he knows how to make to make it more profitable also for our country, because
knows how to make money.
He knows how to make money. He knows how to help other people to also to make money and to be successful. But he also does it with a heart, and he cares about people very, very much. And he's more he's more blue collar worker, but he's a CEO. But he relates more to people that are the working people, which is for me, very important and very appealing about him.
I don't see him putting on a big air himself. That's for sure.
Correct.
That's my impression.
He's not a putting
a
on
big air man like that kind of,
It's not a them and us. It's that we're all working together for what is good for the people and for the community. And this is for me, very, very impressive.
And by that, I still mean that I know very little about him. So there goes my second question, if I may please. You mentioned that Mr. Donald Trump is a highly successful CEO, and he has extensive international experiences and a strong, honest relationship with other countries, such as with China.
Yes.
So what do you mean by those?
Well, he does business throughout the world. He's an international business person, and also politically very involved for many, many years and through his businesses. So for him to be able to do business globally, he does it in a way of maintaining very strong relationships, but also where it's both people, both the country overseas that he's working with and himself and his organization succeed together by partnership. So he's very, very strong on strategic alliance and partnerships, and that's important for our
the recommendation you sent me, especially talking about his business relations with Guangxi, China.
Yes.
What does he do, especially with Guangxi, please?
Well, Guangxi is very important in China, but I understand that it also can have a positive.
They are good at silk.
Very good at silk.
Yes.
Beautiful. This was
and by the way,
made in China.
That's one of the most beautiful women jacket I've ever seen.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It was made in China.
Not from Guangxi.
And no, it was the store I went to, I've been going there for a while. And so the Guangxi there is, I know the people there that work in the store.
Good. Okay.
And they take very good care, and they get it made in just a few days. And if it doesn't fit right, they make it fit right for me. So that's partly Guangxi.
I see.
And he has that mentality of the importance of Guangxi, but not only the Guangxi that is honest relationship, not that which is under the table. And that's where it's very important.
Is there a going-on business between him and Guangxi?
Ongoing business between him and doing business in China, you mean, with people in China? Well, from what I understand, he has people who that he does business with, and also that he has business that comes to buy at at his different developments that are Chinese buyers. So his relationship of Guangxi is on an honest level, not on a not under the table kind of way of doing business, which I think is also important, because this is very important not to have corruption. Corruption is rampant in the world, and he's very anti-corruption, which is
Okay.
very, very important. And he's very pro-law and order, which is also important. And Chinese people, that's very important to
His
them too.
honesty, his friendly, and his anti-corruption,
Correct.
and his kind to people.
And kind to
all right,
people,
kind
heart.
to people. All right, those are the
Caring
qualities that
heart.
you see in him, right?
Yes,
Okay,
and
very
he
good.
does a lot of giving without getting credit for it.
Ah.
And that shows also he's a virtuous, which is also.
I do a lot of that thing, but the only difference that begins between him and I is that I have little money, too little money. All right, my dear audience, today is one of the very rare chance that we sit down here with a beautiful lady with a beautiful Chinese dress to talk about a candidate for President of the United States, Mr. Donald Trump. We're seeing that we are getting to know him. To me, myself, honestly, I do not see that I know him quite a lot. I do see people calling him by different names, but well, may that be his nature or not be his nature, we need to know, we need to find out. So getting to know him is today's subject. So stay with us, we'll be right back. Hello, my dear folks, my lovely audience. Welcome back to the East West Show, exclusively sponsored by Paul Battaglia and Aristo. And Paul Battaglia is the Italian, well-renowned men's suit. I happen to be wearing one. You be the judge. And Aristo is the golf scenery that represents both fashion and class. So, with my good friend Noel Henschel, we are here talking about a big character of the whole nation, if not the whole world, Mr. Donald Trump, as President of the United States. We borrowed that concept. That's why we want to put it in quote unquote, say, the Donald Trump presidency. Right now, we want to see him overall picture, and we also want to go inside of him, see more. Right. So please, my friend Noel Henschel is a speaker of his campaign team in Southern California. She herself came to know Donald Trump as early as 1990. We're talking about 26 years. So now, from this very person who gets personally involved with Trump, may know more than anybody else. Now, some people claim that Mr. Trump is a strong leader for people with that quality, and that is the quality is respected by Chinese people as evidenced by respected leaders in China in history. What seems to be extensively multi-layered question, the line of statement. What do you mean? What do they mean by that, please?
Serve the people. That's what
serve the people.
To serve the people. That's what is the Chinese respect for leaders who have that mentality, and Donald Trump has that mentality. So that's the reason that he wants to be president of the United States, because he wants to serve the people. He wants to represent all people of all ethnicities, all religions, all belief structures, and to help them to be successful and to be healthy and to be safe. And this is very, very important. This is what is so important for everyone.
Oh yeah,
we want our families to be safe. We want our children to have an opportunity to grow and be decent human beings and to be successful in life. And so that's his desire and his focus. And I believe that he is the one who America and the world needs in history right now. And we need that mentality, and for him to lead by example of serving the people.
Serving the people. Yes. Serving the people. That's a big slogan in China. Once I was in China, well, I came here too long, so I seem to be forgetting some of the old day slogans. Serving the people is one of the slogans, right? Okay, that was, unfortunately, to me, in my eyes, was a slogan, only a slogan, nothing but. Right?
Yeah,
Okay,
and that's the difference, is that for him, it's not just words, it's really what's in his heart.
I want to find out, yeah.
I think for the voters, it's very important. Look into the heart of the two people that are running for office right now. Why are they running? Is it for themselves and for their own ego and
or even benefit
and agenda and benefit for themselves, how financially they're going to be benefited? Or is it because they truly care about the future of the people of America and the future of the people of the world?
All right.
Including many people in China.
Sure. Serving the people is quite a slogan adopted by people from all kinds of partisans, all kinds of political takes. They all want to do that. But the thing is that as much as I know about Mr. Donald Trump, he's been a millionaire, billionaire all his life. Does he have a chance to know how exactly people at my level or even lower, and does he know how we live, how we do our everyday, day-to-day life, or at the supermarket, how much is a bottle of milk or something, stuff like that? Does he get a chance or ever has a chance to know that part?
Oh, I believe he does, because he's the man. First of all, he was born into a family that was about having a strong work ethic. His father was very, very strong, teaching him to work hard. And his mother, she was from Scotland. That's also, that's a very strong work ethic that comes from Scotland. I'm part Scottish also. And I know, and that's probably where the negotiating skills between being the Chinese and the Scottish, both of those give you the gift of negotiation. But he has, since he was young, he had to work for everything. He didn't just have it given to him. And look at his children. They're not being given, they're working. And if you listen to them, they've been working in his office since they were small and going to the construction sites and watching him interact and care about the people that are building, the people that are the construction workers, not about the people that are the, just the high level people. No, he cares about the people that are the workers. And he himself is a worker, and his children are workers.
There is, however, one thing that I can give my comment. By the way, whatever I say here represents only myself. It doesn't do anything with the organization, the show, whoever. It is a totally Jack Zhao's personal opinion, right? My personal opinion in this regard is that you look at the kids, you look at their children, that gives me some kind of a confidence about the man's quality.
Right.
I recall one time I had my friend at a dinner, my friend Peter, and I took my son with me, my son Andrew, all right? And at the end of the dinner, and my friend Peter came to me saying, "Hey Jack, you really have done a great job." I said, "What job?" "Bringing Andrew up." Oh, in other words, he sees me through Andrew. I'm applying to it now by seeing the children into Donald Trump.
Right.
Probably the father was a successful father in bringing the kids up. In that aspect, I believe, well, he probably is.
That's right.
One.
And by our fruits we shall be shall be known. Your son's name is very beautiful, Angel.
Thank you.
Very, very special name. And it is through, as a mother of 7 children myself, I know how important it is that your children have a work ethic, and that be part of how they're raised. And so you see that in Mr. Trump and his children. They're very, They're very hardworking, and
I
so
see.
is he. I wonder. I wake up every day and I go, how does he do it? How does he do it? How does he get up every single day, going all over the country and meeting the people, and from morning until night, nonstop? So whatever his energy that he has, it's amazing. It's amazing. I know he doesn't sleep that much, but I'm very, that's very impressive, and that's what we need in our leadership. We need someone who has the energy, the vision, is hardworking, and who really cares.
All right, good. Thank you very much for that. Speaking also to his quality, you mentioned in one of your lines that Donald Trump has even some qualities of the Dr. Sunny Shang, Deng Xiaoping, or President Xi Jinping equivalent.
Yes.
That people like.
Yes.
So was that a too big a line or something, or that realistic?
No, it's realistic. I really think about the leadership of China, and knowing him, and then what I know of the leaders in China. I'm very interested in Chinese history, and I lived in China.
Thank you.
I lived in China, and my thesis
how long have
actually
you
is
lived
about
there?
China
How
for
long
my
have you lived
degree.
there?
I lived there for 2 years, about 2 years, off and on 2 years, and then we opened offices in. We have offices in Beijing, and now soon in Shanghai.
I see.
And my son, our youngest son, Patrick, he studied Chinese. He lived with host families there. He speaks fluent Mandarin. And our eldest son, Daniel, just married a Chinese girl. So from the Guangzhou area. Her family is from Guangzhou area. But we're very excited. And I love China.
So
I see in him those qualities. So in Sun Yat-sen, Sun Yat-sen was grew up in Hawaii. Actually, he went to school in Hawaii.
Dr. Sun Yat-sen.
Dr. Sun Yat-sen, and he. When you visit his home in Shanghai, it's interesting to see there what he wrote about his vision for China. And in that vision for China, it's very similar then I believe that Deng Xiaoping took a lot of what was there, of what Dr. Sun Yat-sen had written about opening more, about being, more the entrepreneurial, and that I see that very much in Mr. Trump. And he has this similar qualities.
Is there a quote or something from Donald Trump that we could to hold on to see that kind of quality in his mind, please? Or anything, any referral?
I think his life speaks of that. That he, and of course of what he's spoken about in terms of the making America great again, making the America safe again, but also when he speaks about the importance of the people, and that he wants to represent the people, and he wants to help them to be successful, the people. So that was the vision of Dr. Sun Yat-sen, and also the vision of
the focus,
and also for Deng Xiaoping, who when he became the paramount leader, he wanted to help the people to be more successful, and then of course with President Xi Jinping, I believe that there is definitely that they will hit it off very well with each other, and both are very focused on wanting to root out corruption. And they both have that mentality. They want their countries and the people to be motivated to operate more for the good and transparent, and not be based on cronyism or on corruption.
I see.
So I see that quality in both of them.
All right, very good.
And they both have beautiful wives, by the way.
Oh yeah, by the way.
Luyan and also Melania. They will be great together.
Okay, thank you. Well, that's a line of comment that I first heard of, but I do tend to agree because I'd rather take him as a great guy, while than whatever other images about him. Well, we're learning. I'm learning at least. So, my dear audience, talking about Donald Trump, and with me is my friend Joelle Chinchell, and she knows a lot about Mr. Trump. And back 26 years, they know each other. They came to know each other, and we're talking about his quality and equality. The quality came to one point. He has a focus, according to her. That focus is people. To serve the people, that's what we call a slogan. Please stay with us. We'll be right back. Hello, my dear folks, my dear fellow Americans. Welcome back to the East-West Show, sponsored by BP Aristo, best known by its Paul Botelli Italian suit, such as the one I'm wearing, and the Aristo Golf Series. So, Jack Chow on the big subject, Donald Trump today. And the title of the show today says, The Donald Trump Presidency. We want to give it a test run, see what we shall see in the quality of this person, this very individual, wonderful individual, see how exactly he will be once he claims the position of the commander of the United States. Mm-hmm. With me, my good friend Joelle Chantel, we are talking about this very, very teeny tiny points about this man. Okay, let's see. Let's move on to international relationship.
All right.
All right, good. I know that Mr. Trump, according to you, is about people, mm-hmm. is about creating relationship, mm-hmm. and he is very successful with people. For example, with the most hard to deal people, such as Chinese people. Mm-hmm. We're smart.
You're very smart. Chinese are very smart.
We're too smart. Okay, anyway, I'm kidding.
No,
I'm the dumbest. I'm the dumbest among Chinese. Okay, anyway. So once at the Center for the National Interest, he pointed out that the United States should learn to walk away from negotiation tables. Mm-hmm. What did he mean by that? And what was it related to his own promotion of building international relationship with as many countries as possible?
Well, I think he was giving a very big compliment to the Chinese, mm-hmm. because he was.
Thank him for that.
For saying that we should learn from the Chinese, mm-hmm. and so he really respects that the Chinese people are very good in business, mm-hmm. and very good in negotiations, mm-hmm. and that it's important that in any negotiation that you have to be willing to walk away, otherwise you're disadvantaged.
You're talking about negotiation skills?
Negotiation skills is where I would say that he's giving us a honest critique about we could learn more from China of how good they are, the Chinese, in negotiating.
But in the whole thing, though, he doesn't mention anything about China for that statement,
for that particular statement, perhaps. But I have heard him before say that China knows how to negotiate, and that we could learn from China, and so that's a compliment. And I do believe that from his style is he is going to be a very strong negotiator, but he's also a pragmatic businessman who knows how to make the deal and close it and not not just walk away, but to try to work it out for what's in the best interest of everyone, for our country, because he is putting America first.
I see.
But it's also not wanting to help raise the partners of countries we work with as well at the same time.
Okay, take myself for example. I've never dealt anything bigger than $100. That's it. All right. So
gambling, you mean, or just making a deal?
Anyway, making deals, right? Okay. For example, this watch.
Right.
Right. They ask for $500. Right. I really want a watch. Okay. And I say, how about 150? Something like that.
Right.
And then they say no, and I say 100, 200, and no. How about 250? Okay. Now learning from Dr. Trump, I mean Donald Trump, am I supposed to say $150 or I walk away?
I think that he knows how.
You know my point, right?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but really I believe his greatest strength is he knows how to make the deal, to make it happen, to close it, to make it happen, but where everybody feels good about what they've achieved. And so he definitely does, from my belief of how he operates, is that it is where everyone feels good about what they've accomplished. But he's concerned that our own country sometimes has not maybe negotiated as well as the Chinese. And so I know our son, I mentioned Patrick, our son, when we lived in China, he would go there to the mart, and he learned how to negotiate in China.
Okay.
Just doing what you just talked about.
Yeah, that's
Only
important.
it wasn't $100, it was probably 10 yuan or something like that.
Okay.
And that he was operating with for little cards and things like that. But he'd come back so excited, Mom, I negotiated this, and but
I got a good deal, right?
I got a good deal. But he learned by going back and forth each time. And then that was a skill that he learned from the Chinese by living there. So I do believe that Mr. Trump is very respectful of China and the Chinese.
Yeah, I still insist. Of course, knowing little about Mr. Donald Trump, I still believe that there is a big difference between negotiate a deal and then negotiate a relationship with another country. For example, a treaty, something like that, right? Anyway,
a treaty.
Yeah,
a treaty.
Yeah. Let's move on. So, on many occasions, I keep giving him the title. Mr. Trump mentioned the job creations and the bringing business back to U.S. Right? How could he actually do it while having to maintain the good records of international relationships with countries such as with China? And at the same time, he tried to get business back to the U.S., who are already established in China, in order to create U.S. jobs. It seems like contradictory, these two.
No, it's actually complement each other, because the stronger the economy is in the United States, and the more that people are making more money, the more that's consumer spending, and they're going to buy more from China. And they're going to travel more to China because they're going to have more money to be able to do that. And he is tourism, remember. Mr. Trump, that's the other thing.
That's how you got involved.
That's the other thing. That is my first introduction with him really was in relation more to helping women in developing countries, including in China,
I see.
to be successful, and helping with those projects. But my other experience is that we are both in the tourism industry and in the hospitality industry, and he's the first candidate to be president of the United States that has come from the tourism, the hospitality industry, which is also very, very important to our economy and to China's economy as well. And that's what we do. We bring visitors from China. ATI brings visitors from China to the United States, takes them all over America. Our favorite program is Hollywood. The favorite program in China is Hollywood to Broadway, going across America by ATI motor coach in 18 days, visiting 13 states. And the favorite state is Iowa. which is interesting because politically
of
that's important. Iowa, it's in the middle of America.
And also lots of big potatoes.
Yeah, that's true. And I have family in Iowa. But when we asked the Chinese visitors what did they like the most on their trip from Hollywood to Broadway, and they write on their comment forms, Iowa. And when you ask them why, they say, because the people. They love the people of Iowa, how friendly they are. They feel like they're really sincere. And also there's a Chinese garden in Des Moines, Iowa, which they love to visit. And also President Xi Jinping, he lived in Iowa.
Yeah,
he lived in Muscatine, Iowa with a family, a farming family. So Mr. Trump is from this industry that is so important for the economy of our country and also for China and for relations, because you speak about the theme of this discussion is the Trump presidency and the relationship between China and USA, which is critical. But this is so critical that makes this very critical that this happens.
They're interrelated.
They're totally interrelated. For this to happen, for this to grow and to be stronger, we need this Trump presidency for the relationship between China and the USA to become stronger and stronger. And that is critical for making the world safe. It's certainly critical from an economic standpoint, which is security. The people are most concerned about security. Well, the security is their financial security, but also their personal security in terms of terrorism and in terms of countries that would do things that are not in the best interest of security for the whole world. So that is very, very important, and they do complement that the only way I believe that this China-USA relationship is going to really grow more and become stronger and stronger is with the Trump presidency.
With the Trump presidency.
And then the people in America and in China will be lifted and will grow, and the businesses will do well, and the government will cooperate closer.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for saying that. My dear audience, we want to take another little break. When we come back, we'll see if Mr. Trump does take office, how he wants to handle the relationship between the United States and China. And there are lots of conflicts about certain issues over, such as Southern Sea or other island issues. And once Mr. Trump takes office, would he take a different way or a different push or whatever? And we need to find out from her, please. So stay with us. Hello, dear folks. Welcome back to the East-West Show, exclusively sponsored by BP Aristo, best known for their Italian suit that represents, men's suit that represents both tradition and fashion. And Paul Bettany is the name brand, such as the wear I'm wearing. And Aristo is the golf series, which I am also equipped from head to toe. So you believe that you will like it. So now, our subject today, Donald Trump. Donald Trump has been a big character on the TV screen ever since the name popped out. So for the past 1.5, almost 2 years, we're getting used to. But only thing lacking, such as my example, take myself as an example, you need to touch the inside of the person to see if there's more need to be learned about this very person.
Right.
So this is exactly what I'm doing now. With my friend, speaker for Donald Trump campaign, Noelle Hinchell.
Han Nu Yao.
Oh, yeah, Han Nu Yao. Han Nu Yao, that's her Chinese name. We're learning, and at least I feel that I'm learning more about this wonderful individual, Mr. Donald Trump. Right. Now, we understand in between the United States and China, there is one call which takes the rise of China as the risk to United States. How would Donald Trump take on this issue?
The issue, excuse me, of the...
Yeah, the issue in between U.S. and China.
Yes.
There is one take that at which point, or by which take, they take the rise of China as the risk to United States.
Oh, well.
So, do you think that some policy or some take that Donald Trump will adopt, or he will do in a different way?
I believe that the Trump presidency is going to be the best for the China-USA relations to be strengthened. And he's thoughtful, he's fair, he's honest, he's hardworking, and he cares about all people. Yes, America first, because this is our country, just like China has to care first about the people of China. But he is someone who wants that for America to be safe, by the way. It means that the world needs the relationship to be strong between USA and China. So that, that I think will be a priority for him, will be strengthening the relationship between our countries.
So, all right, to strengthen, he would rather strengthen the relationship between U.S. and China.
Yes.
Right?
I believe, from what I know of him, I believe that he will want or desires to strengthen the relationship, but at the same time to make sure that it's fair for both of our countries, that it's fair for the people. Again, going back to what is going to be in the best interest for the people, to help the people of America and then the people of China also to be able to be successful.
In other words, let me try if I understand you right. In regard to the certain cliche which takes China the rising of China as the risk to the United States, which endangers U.S. safety, and you're saying that Donald Trump's solution is that the only way out is to enhance the relationship so that we are safer.
Well, I believe that he is of a desire to strengthen the relationship between our countries because it's good for both countries and it's good for the world.
Why not?
Yes, of course. It's what's good for the world.
That I agree,
it's good for both of our countries and it's good for the world. And this is for him to make a decision to put his whole life now and focus on what is in the best interest of America and also in making the world a safer place. That means that he is a selfless person, not a selfish person, a selfless. Selfless, yes. Selfless. And I think it's important again, I say to the voters, and like you said, of getting to know someone inside, look inside their heart and look and see what is motivating someone when they're running for office. Is it about themselves and how they can benefit from it? Or is it about how they're going to help the community, help the people to rise? So when you speak about rising, he wants America to rise and lead as we have. And for other countries, China being a very, very important partner, to also rise. So that the people to be successful.
Yeah, in other words, he will embrace the rise of China. In the meantime, he will call upon the United States to rise too.
Because there's an expression, I think it was JFK who said it, a rising tide lifts all boats, and everyone actually benefits from it. So it's about it's caring about the people. He cares about the people. So I believe he will be a great president for our relationship between USA and China, and that actually on that the balance, of the yin and the yang.
Yeah, yin and yang. Yeah,
The
all
yin
right.
yang.
You know a lot about China.
You need
yeah.
both. You need both.
You need both,
You need
yeah.
both.
Okay.
And he and
I like that
and
take.
I believe that from my knowledge of him, of experience with him, and my experience in China with the Chinese people and Chinese history and mentality, which I feel very blessed that I've been able to spend so much of my life
Very good. Very good.
in
right.
China and with Chinese people, which I truly love. Then I do believe that this is we need a Trump presidency for China-USA relations to strengthen and for the world to be a safer and more successful place for all people.
All right, okay. You take that as a conclusion, right? One last question, may I, if I may, please?
Of course.
We noticed in the very beginning when Mr. Donald Trump put himself on stage, he seemed to show a total different look as we see now. By then, he was kind of easy at charge. He was kind of getting, getting upset, and he using wrong terms or overstated terms, so on and so forth. And now he started to be picky on his words. Which one is his true nature? I'm saying, is he reshaping himself, or is he restraining himself for the campaign, whatever? I want to see the true picture of him, please.
Well, I believe that the true picture of him is what you see every day, because he is who he is. He's honest. He is who he is. He's not a politician that's just saying what the people want to hear. I don't believe he's being reshaped. I believe it's all really who he is. But when you do something which is outside of yourself, that's for a greater purpose, you continue to learn and to evolve as you're learning more about what is the what are the concerns of the people. You see, because he listens. We had on May 25th in Anaheim, we kicked off our Women Leaders for Trump. And it was business women from all sectors, from tourism, from construction, from criminal justice, from retail, from cosmetics, from farming, from legal, from all different from banking and finance. We had 152 women leaders from the business community, philanthropy. They were so impressed because he took the time to listen to them. He wanted to hear what is it that they're concerned about. How can he serve them? Not what can they do for him, but what can he do for their businesses to grow and for them to be successful and for their families to be safe and successful. So they were very moved. Some of them were not necessarily 100% sure yet, but by the time they spent that time with him, they were all very committed. And I think that's who he is. So anything that we've heard along the way is as he's hearing from the people.
Maybe next time you should invite me there and get me
Yes,
right?
yes, he's coming here in September, the middle of September,
All
and
right.
that would be beautiful if you
Sure.
could meet him and you could hear him, you could see him yourself.
You invite him to come on the show to talk about all together, meet our audiences.
I will.
Yeah, sure.
I
All
will.
right, good.
I will. I
Okay,
will.
my dear audience,
I
we're
will.
over time. We're way over time, but I'm glad we did that way. And honestly, today is a chance for me to get into the inside of this person. This very great person who, according to her, is honest, has a relationship, knows a lot about money, knows a lot about creating money, knows a lot about creating jobs,
Right.
and especially knows a lot about creating economic international relations with other countries, such as with China. And according to her also, once again, with his presidency, the U.S.-China relationship is going to be enhanced.
Yes,
That
and
we wish to
it will
something to
be,
happen.
and I think it's important that we all care about peace.
That is something we wish to
We
happen.
care about peace.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Lao Tzu, he said,
Uh-huh.
for there to be peace in the nations, there
Mm-hmm.
must be peace in the cities, in the communities,
Mm-hmm.
in the families, and in the heart.
All right, good.
The
good.
peace. And so I do believe that he has peace in his heart, and he wants there to be peace for all nations, and it begins with
And thank you
us
very
helping
much.
him to be president.
Yeah, thank you very much for my dear friend Noelle. She even used a quote from Lao Tzu. Yes, for peace.
For peace.
Well, like I said over time already, thank you very much, my dear audience. I have to put a stop here. And to my guests, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, 谢谢, and 祝你平安.
祝你平安.
Yeah, and tell
That's a
you
lot of Chinese.
also to
right?
your
Good.
viewers, 祝你平安.
哎，
谢谢。